continuing with the anthology-style storytelling of Love, Death, and Robots, which always keeps viewers guessing about what to expect not only from each season, but also from each episode. Season 3 employs short standalone stories that skillfully blend elements of science fiction, horror, and comedy.
They were mean to robots and then robots killed them!
David Fincher, who also serves as the show's executive producer, directed the second episode of the third season, titled Bad Traveling. Before we begin, I have a small request for you. If you enjoy my content, I invite you to join our community by simply clicking to subscribe to the channel. Your action, though small, propels these videos. I deeply appreciate your support. And now, it's time to begin. This story is set in a unique maritime environment, which tends to keep the audience on the edge of their seat, uncertain of how events will unfold. This intrigue is why I chose to delve deeper into the narrative of this particular episode from Season 3 of Love, Death, and Robots. The episode begins with the legend Bad Traveling, illustrating how ships frequently got lost during long voyages to a strange alien ocean in search of the great jable shark. Suddenly, the ship's crew is attacked by a Thanapod, a sea monster resembling a crustacean, which feeds on the flesh of the crew. The ship's captain is killed by the creature, leaving the rest of the crew to choose someone to confront the marine monster. After a dispute and a brief period of consideration, Torrin is sent to face the Thanapod, which is now hiding inside the ship's hull. In confronting the sea monster, Torrin discovers that the Thanapod possesses the eerie ability to communicate using the corpses of its victims. It demands safe passage to Faden Island, a densely populated land, offering the lives of Torrin and his crew members in exchange. Torrin agrees to the creature's terms, offering to transport it to the island if it spares their lives. He also retrieves a key from the deceased captain, asking the creature to regurgitate the captain's remains, and takes command of the crew after finding a pistol in a small chest in the former captain's cabin. Torrin then sacrifices one of the crew members, who had assumed a leadership role, as food for the Thanapod. This leaves the rest of the crew in a moral dilemma: navigate to a distant, uninhabited island to save the people, or save their own lives by sacrificing thousands on Faden Island. Throughout the episode, we're led to believe that after a vote, Torrin confesses to marking the ballots, revealing those who cared only for their safety over the lives of thousands on Faden Island. He then kills the 2 crew members who voted for Faden Island, feeding their bodies to the Thanapod, as they could not be trusted, and the ship needed to unite towards a common goal. Torrin receives a foreboding call from the Thanapod, informing him that it and hundreds of its offspring are hungry. Realizing time is running out, Torrin decides to overlook an assassination attempt by a crew member, and sticks to his plan to abandon the Thanapod on the uninhabited island. The crew realizes that Torrin's plan will doom them all, leading to a covert assassination attempt against him. However, Torrin had anticipated this betrayal. He kills all but one of the crew members. Torrin discovers the last surviving crew member confined in a chest, locked away for refusing to participate in the assassination attempt. After eliminating all the crew members, Torrin now had enough flesh to feed the Thanapod and its offspring. With the assistance of the sole surviving crew member, he feeds the Thanapod all the bodies and also pushes this last member into the Thanapod's lair. This is where we witness a twist in the tale. Earlier in the episode, Torrin claimed to have marked the votes to identify the 2 crew members who voted for Faden Island. However, as he pushes the final person, he confesses there were no marks on the votes. In fact, all the members had voted for Faden Island. This revelation also illustrates how Torrin knew the crew would eventually turn against him, as their primary concern was their own safety, even at the cost of sacrificing all the people on Faden Island. In the end, Torrin steers the ship towards the deserted island and descends to the hull to falsely inform the Thanapod that they have arrived at Faden Island. However, while conversing with the creature, he begins to slash the barrels containing oil, setting the ship ablaze. This provokes the crustacean's fury, which starts to chase Torrin. However, Torrin leaps overboard and boards an emergency boat already waiting in the water. As Torrin sets off towards Faden Island, the ship explodes in the distance. We observe the Thanapod screaming in pain as the fire spreads, contradicting its earlier declaration of being impervious to harm due to its shell. The fate of the creature remains uncertain in the fire, but it's highly likely that Torrin's actions have saved the lives of thousands of innocent people on Faden Island. Throughout the episode, Torrin is portrayed as a complex character, a man determined to do good by any means necessary to achieve his goal, unwilling to unleash the Thanapod on the unsuspecting inhabitants of Faden Island. However, his crew had other intentions, prompting him to devise a plan to eliminate them first, thus avoiding any additional complications. It remains unclear whether Torrin ever intended to take the Thanapod to a deserted island, or if this was a ruse from the start to decide which crew members deserved to live or die. If any of the crew had voted in favor of Torrin's plan to take the Thanapod to a deserted island, he might have shared his true plan with them. Instead, in their secret ballot, they all voted to save their own skin and sacrifice innocent people. What did the Thanapod want with Faden Island? Initially, Torrin assumed the Thanapod merely wanted to be taken to Faden Island to consume the local population. It was revealed later that the creature had laid eggs, incubating numerous hungry offspring. Had Torrin fulfilled his part of the deal with the Thanapod, then Faden Island would have been a buffet for the creature and its brood. The Thanapod is depicted as a mythical and monstrous creature lurking in the alien oceans of this universe. It resembles a giant crab, larger than 3 men combined, with a body covered by an almost impenetrable shell. It appears to have around 10 legs, similar to a crab, likely placing it in the decapod group, which includes crabs, lobsters, and shrimps. This creature is surprisingly fast for its size. Its attacks are swift and lethal, and the opening at the front of its body acts as its mouth to consume the shredded parts of its prey. It likely developed a taste for human flesh after attacking the ship and seemed determined to consume more human victims. Faden Island would be the perfect destination, with plenty of people to feed its offspring. The Thanapod is also presented as a notably intelligent creature, not just a senseless monster. Its ability to negotiate with Torrin, using a corpse to communicate, is a testament to its intelligence. This creature was almost indestructible, at least to the crew's primitive weapons. Overall, Bad Traveling was a fantastic episode and easily one of my favorites in the entire series. It places the characters in a desperate situation where their morality is tested. This episode makes you feel the vulnerability of the crew and even Torrin's safety after he planned to disobey the orders and deceive the creature. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with our latest content. We love hearing from our viewers, so please leave a comment and share your ideas for future videos. Thanks for your support, and we can't wait to see you again in our next video.